5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please do not change channel.
From Krypton Radio, brought to you by Famous Faces and Funnies and Off the Chain with Yvonne Mason. It's the Hangin' with Web Show Radio Hour, the Internet's premier pop culture talk radio show. You're tuned in, you're logged on, and now, your host, award-winning author and journalist GW Pomichter. Who are you hanging with?
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome to the Hangin' with Web Show Radio Hour. I'm GW Pomichter.
And I'm Sagia.
And on the line with us, we have our one and only Orlando wizard, Robert Lupo. How you doing, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. Just had a mind-blowing experience.
That's fantastic. You know what? We're gonna dive into that because, guys, if you're listening to this first on Krypton Radio, Sci-Fi for your Wi-Fi, or wherever you are, you know that we follow what's going on in popular culture as closely as we possibly can. And the biggest news, there are two big pieces of news, but one of the biggest pieces of news in the last couple of weeks has been out in L.A. at Disneyland. They opened Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And it's coming. We're counting down here in Florida.
We are.
And I know that the Orlando Wizard is counting down. Because on August 29th, 2019, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will open up to the public. We're down to, not that anybody's counting or anything, but I think we got like 70 days, 11 hours, 50 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Oh, who's counting?
But who's counting? But we're counting down to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But fortunately for us and for all of our listeners here on Krypton Radio and listening to the Hangin' with Web Show Radio Hour, our own Orlando Wizard has already got a little sneak peek.
Yes.
Yes, because he was out west when Disneyland opened up Galaxy's Edge. So he got to be on the ground, as it were.
How awesome is that?
In a galaxy far, far away. Which, isn't that like L.A.'s theme anyway? That is a galaxy far, far away from anybody else. But yeah.
And those of you who can't see, I just want to let you know, Lupo has an amazing hat.
Yeah, he's got the Galaxy's Edge hat here. He's rocking the Star Wars hat. You gotta love it. Man, okay, so let's just start. Well, first of all, let's do a little bit of pop culture news too. Galaxy's Edge is opened in Disneyland.
It is.
It's going to be open in Disney World on August 29th. That's big news. Big news just dropping today, though, also in the pop culture sci-fi comics arena that we work in. They're going to re-release, literally, it's like literally only about 8 weeks old, but they're going to re-release Avengers Endgame with deleted scenes put back in and special features following the end credits.
That's awesome.
They're going to do that, and I understand. Let's say, like just coming up, like this weekend or next weekend. It's a week before Spider-Man: Far From Home hits theaters. Endgame is going to hit theaters again with bonus content.
And who doesn't want to go see that? I do.
Yeah, it was really funny. Is even like the bloggers and people online and all the folks that were like, I don't know what I felt about it or whatever, and then I saw the perfect post today. It was from one of the bloggers who said, this is just a way for them to make a last-ditch effort to get the top box office gross away from Avatar. And then the next sentence was, I'm probably going to go anyway. So even the people who aren't thrilled about this tactic, which, by the way, as a business tactic, brilliant. Thank you, Mickey Mouse.
Yes. Well, I want to see more. I want to see what they denied me the first time.
Yeah, and there's going to be more to it and special features after the end credits. But everybody, who's gone to Marvel movies for the past 10 years always stays after the end credits anyway because you're just waiting for that end credit scene. And, of course, Endgame didn't have one because it was the end. So the idea that...
We waited anyway.
We waited anyway. Now when you wait, there'll be something to wait for. And there's some tribute footage there, some Stan Lee tribute footage. It's going to be some really cool stuff. And that's going to come out in just another week or so. So look for the re-release of Avengers Endgame. And if you're into the competitive, the Hollywood, who's doing what and where and how kind of thing, it's worth noting that Endgame busted box office records everywhere, and is literally only. And I say only, but Robert and I and you and Dina will all be sitting here thinking, only what? No, only because it's in a multi-billion-dollar category of grosses right now. It's only $45 million to go to the number one grossing spot of all time. They're $45 million away from Avatar's gross. So, what do you guys think? 1 weekend, 2 weekends? Are they gonna? They'll crush that. How long with all the new footage?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Does the re-release count?
Yeah, the re-release. It's a box office number. That's the key to this number is that it has to be obtained in theaters. So it doesn't.
It wouldn't start over with a new count?
No. It's the same movie. It's got some new stuff, but it's the same movie. So my guess 2 weekends. Because I assume that the re-release isn't going to smash box office weekend records or anything. It's not going to be another $100 million weekend, but 2 weeks, $45 million.
It might.
It actually might with the bonus content. Bonus content. I mean,
and deleted scenes.
Yeah, so it's possible.
I think the likelihood is high.
Well, I think for certain this will cinch it to make that $45 million and to make it the top grossing movie of all time. And theater gross. So, and then of course, then it'll go into digital, where craziness happens and streaming services and everything else. But I think it'll be the king soon in the box office. So, but that's big news happening. So that was pretty neat. I heard yesterday during our Legend of the Traveling TARDIS recording, I understand that not nominations but Emmy submissions are going in this week.
They are. And
so it'll be interesting to see what TV, what of ours, in our vein in TV, will be nominated for the Emmys.
I'm sure we'll have some stuff in our
Anybody
wheelhouse.
think that we can count on the final season of Game of Thrones for some Emmy nods?
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Peter Dinklage has been nominated like every season except one for something. And he really, in hindsight, looking back now that it's all over, Peter Dinklage really was the most consistent character of this final season too.
That's true.
So there might be a good shot for Peter Dinklage to get one final Emmy nomination before they call it quits on Game of Thrones. So yes, I've been looking at that though. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed for all the things that happened last year for The Expanse to get something. I think they really deserve something. Best sci-fi on TV. Lupo, have you checked it out yet?
Which one?
Expanse.
The Expanse?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See? So I'm hoping that they get a little bit of recognition. Oh, what do we got?
I found something.
She did find something. She grabbed the laptop and she started looking to see the Emmy. No, this is historical stuff, right?
2019.
Oh, 2019.
Yeah, this was just a few days ago.
Wow. What do you got here? Four Best Actress nominations.
Okay.
4.
Let's see what they say.
Or not nominations. These are submissions.
Yes, submissions for that.
Submissions. That's right. But that's actually I see on the article here. It's a record. So see, a lot of the stuff that we love is going to be all over the place this year. So that's going to be great. It'd be a lot of fun to see what's going on with those things. So, any favorites that you predict, Lupo? What do you think? What would you like to see get some recognition this year? Something new that you've seen.
I was so disappointed with Game of Thrones. I just don't want Game of Thrones in there. I was just like so put off by it.
When I look back at it now, and we've actually rewatched several of the episodes now, and watching it as a whole, I'm less disappointed myself personally because as a whole piece, one piece, it's put together fairly well. I didn't like some of this.
I might have to go back and do that.
The starting and stopping points really kill you this season because there were only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it was rushed and it just seemed.
Yeah, it really did. When you binge it, it plays a little bit better. It still feels a little rushed, especially through the Battle of Winterfell. That really makes it, because it goes so fast from there down to King's Landing. But But overall, all the story points were touched on. All of the check boxes were checked, and it just was a matter of. I really do think, especially fans, you and I, and the people that we know, we just want more. We want more depth. We want more, and they were counting it down to an end, and it felt really, really rushed to the end. And I don't know that aside from giving us another season or whatever, there was anything they could do when they tell us that one of the number one show on television is coming to an end. I don't know that there's anything more you can do to make us happy with that idea, because we're not happy with that idea. We weren't happy at the beginning of the season with that idea. You're ending a show that has become a pop culture staple over the last 7 years, and done some 8 years really, because we had that 1 year when they didn't give us anything, which, by the way, not a good way to make the fan base happy, making us wait an entire extra year for something. Now we're frustrated and impatient. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, we waited a long time.
We did.
And then what they gave us wasn't worth the wait. Yeah,
and like I said, I don't know that it could have been. I mean, there are probably some techniques to slow things down.
If they doubled the episodes, I think it would have been fine. But we waited an extra year, and then all they gave us was 6 episodes, and rushed through things just to finish the story. I just kind of felt like I felt gypped.
It didn't fulfill anybody's requirements for the year. But
do you know what will fulfill?
What's that?
Galaxy's Edge.
It will. And coming up right after the break, we're going to talk all about Galaxy's Edge as we get ready for Galaxy's Edge will be opening here in Florida at Disney World August 29th.
Yes, I almost said Galaxy Quest, which is totally different.
That's right, which, for those of you counting just before the commercial break, that is now 70 days, 11 hours, 42 minutes, and 39 seconds
but who's counting?
Away. But who's counting? Actually, Disney's counting. So that's how you know. Anyway, guys, we will be right back after this commercial break, and we're going to dive into Galaxy's Edge and all the cool that they have to offer. So stay tuned in and stay logged on. We'll be right back.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Who's who? What's hot and what's not? 2019 saw some amazing new creative talents, and now you can peek behind the scenes at the hottest indie creative artists in this year's edition of 25 Hottest Indie Authors, Artist Advocates 2019 magazine, published by the renowned And I Thought Ladies. This is a one-of-a-kind look into the brightest rising stars in the creative universe. Get yours today at magcloud.com and at andwethought.com.
Mature and curvaceous Juliana faces the consequences of having 2 online lovers, the insanely jealous Aaron and the kind, sexy silver fox Bobby. To make her life more complicated, she must weather the wrath of her husband Rocco, who has discovered his suspicion and uncovers a deep, dark secret. And there are more secrets to uncover. Will these secrets come out? Can Juliana survive this tsunami of impossible situations? Will she be able to rebuild the life she once had? Or will the burden of the past prove too much? Is there even a happily ever after in her future? Read what happens when you pick up your copy of With All of Me Too today from joannesbooks.com or amazon.com.
Are you looking for a used car?
Check out the public auto auction app from carauctionnetworks.com.
You can download the app on your phone or tablet and use it for free, and there's no registration required.
You can see what's for sale at car auctions, such as
bank repos,
dealer trade-ins,
surplus government vehicles,
or impounds.
There are plenty of cheap used cars and trucks listed in the app.
You can save a lot of money with public auto auction app.
You can also see and bid at car auctions online.
Get the public auto auction app for iOS at the Apple Store.
Or on Google Play.
Or simply go to carauctionnetwork.com.
That's carauctionnetwork.com. Change your life with Ray K Distance Energy from Energy Right Now.
What is Ray K?
Well, Ray K Distance Energy is positive energy transferred over distance by Ray K Energy practitioners to help you heal and live your best life.
How will Ray K help me?
Ray K Energy transfers can help increase your income, better your health, help you lose weight, even stop smoking. It can be used to buy or sell real estate, even find lost items.
Wow, Ray K Energy seems pretty powerful.
It is, and you can start calling on Ray K Energy today. Just reach out to practitioner Leah Schiller online at energyrightnow.wordpress.com.
Leah Schiller, where can I find her online again?
Unlock your potential today with Energy Right Now at energyrightnow.wordpress.com.
This is the most.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hangin' with Web Show Radio Hour. I'm GW Pomichter.
I am Seiji.
And we're on the line with the one and only Orlando Wizard, Robert Lupo.
Hey.
Hey, that's right, everybody. We did some headlines, some big news, things coming up at the top of the hour here. But we did promise that we would talk about the grand opening coming up here of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney World at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Disney World on August 29th. Now 70 days, 11 hours, 38 minutes, and 36 seconds from now.
For Pete's sake.
That's right. Hey, they put a countdown up for me. What do you want me to do? I have to read it.
Yes, but somebody has a sneak peek.
Yes, because the Hangin' with Web Show's very own Orlando Wizard was out west when the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge opened up.
Sneaking a peek behind the
curtain. Literally sneaking a peek. He's doing some sneaky. This is what we're going to call our investigative journalism segment because he dove in, man. All right, man. So first of all, Galaxy's Edge. What are your first thoughts? First words, first thoughts that come to mind. Galaxy's Edge.
So let's talk a little about the immersion of Galaxy's Edge. Now, if you are local to Florida and you've been to Universal and you've gone to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, that is absolutely spectacular. It's very immersive, interactive, and it's amazing. And Galaxy's Edge, in my opinion, and I'm a Harry Potter land fanatic. I practically live there. I have my own cart, cot in the back and everything. And Galaxy's Edge, in my opinion, makes the Wizarding World of Harry Potter look like Legoland.
Wow.
I can't wait.
That is a whopping endorsement because, theme parks for years have worked to ride a line between immersion and just entertainment, and I thought really that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter was probably, is for its time and for now, one of the most immersive experiences out there. Because there is entertainment. There is entertainment. There is roller coasters. There are rides. But when you're walking through the streets of Harry Potter's Wizarding World, you feel that you're walking through Hogsmeade, that you're walking through Diagon Alley. You feel that you're in Harry Potter's world. It's immersive. So to hear Lupo say Galaxy's Edge, more immersive. That's incredible. That we are going to a galaxy far, far away.
All right there, sneaky peeky wizard.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yes, tell us more. There's more.
Tell me more. Like, does he have a car, Papa? No. All right. What, you didn't like Grease? Grease is a great movie.
It is.
It is.
We spent our weekend, this weekend we got to run into our dear friend, Ann Respol, who is Ann Travolta Respol.
Yes.
Over at IndieCon and hang out with her for a little while. That was a lot of fun, speaking of Grease.
Mm-hmm.
And she just got cast in a production of Grease.
Oh, that's awesome.
She was just cast as the principal, or the principal secretary there, and in a production of Grease. So she's excited about that.
Nice.
So back to a galaxy far, far away, where Lupo has been. He is one of the Bothan spies that we rely on.
To say it. So first of all, the way I got in is you had to have a reservation to get in, and reservations sold out within 2 hours after they were posted. Reservation allows you to come in on a specific day at a specific time for 4 hours, and then they clear the land and bring the next group in.
Wow.
The way I got in is I had a conversation with one of the managers and was talking about my YouTube channel, and they gave me a 20-minute escorted tour into the land.
Wow.
And allowed me to buy some merchandise. So I bought the Jedi cube. What's the name of the stupid cube? Huh? Holocron cube, yeah. So I got the Jedi Holocron cube.
Holocron cube. Okay.
Right? And then I bought all 6 colors of the kyber crystals. And then there's a 7th color, which is black, which is extremely rare. Only 1 in 300 is black. And they're in the red cases, so you have to figure it out. I'm doing 2 new videos that are going to be up on my channel very soon. One of them is going to be all the hints and tips you need to know about Galaxy's Edge, including some food reviews and so forth, and the proper way to ensure that you get a black crystal. I have information that's not being shared on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on how to get the black crystal. I have more information.
Of course he does. Well, he went in and did the investigation and got the tour and found out from the insiders, man.
Anybody who can, Alohomora themselves into Galaxy's Edge, they've got the tips and tricks.
That's what I'm saying. He's got the tips and tricks. He knows where he's going now.
Well, I know he said that you had to have the reservation, right, when he was out there. But in Florida, I know when they open Galaxy's Edge in Florida, if you go to the Walt Disney Resort, if you are staying at the resort, then that reservation is not required. Isn't that correct?
Nope. You still have to. They guarantee you a reservation.
Yeah. Yeah. You still we're gonna do this reservation game for quite a while with Galaxy's Edge because it's going to take it from everything that's being described and everything that Lupo just told us. This is such an immersive experience, and it's going to be a coveted experience for a great deal of time to come. So I think it's going to be a long time before people are just wandering through Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, it's going to be a very long time. So one of the interesting things is come on June 24th at Disneyland, you no longer need a reservation, but you will have to go into Disneyland and you will have to get it's kind of like a fast pass return time for the land.
Okay.
It's a flight pass, or I forgot what they're calling it.
Nice.
But you either use the Disneyland app or you go to guest services, and they give you a return time just like the reservations, but you don't have to make the
Okay.
pre-reservations. And then it says you come
sense.
back at this time. It'll be the same thing. You go in for 4 hours, and then your time's up, and you have to get out. If both at Disney World and at Disneyland, if you stay on property, which I almost did, I investigated it, and they said if we go on property, we're guaranteed a reservation for Galaxy's Edge for a 4-hour reservation. The cheapest room was $600 a night.
Wow, I believe that.
I do too.
I believe that. I mean, this is a huge deal. I mean, Disney attractions, theme park attractions. We're in Central Florida. Theme park attractions have always been big business. There's always been a season that you want to go, a season that you don't want to go. Depends on how you feel about crowds and things like that. But these new attractions, and speaking of new attractions, again. Lupo had just mentioned, being a big fan over at Universal's Harry Potter Wizarding World. And they just launched a new ride. And the wait time for the line for the new ride, which was Hagrid's, what's the name of that? Hagrid's
Motorcycle Adventure.
10 hours during the first weekend. That was the line for the ride.
Day, it was a 10-hour wait. The line went, so if you've ever been to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, you know that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is in the far back right corner of the park.
Mm-hmm.
The line went from Hogsmeade all the way to the front gate.
Wow. Well, I do understand that not only the line for Hagrid's was so long, and it went a 10-hour line. I'm about to say it went fairly quick. But the reason I'm going to say that is because by the end of the weekend, the lines were down to about 4 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And, I mean, to see that go so fast from a 10-hour line to a 4-hour line in a matter of the first couple of days is pretty good. I mean, they're moving them through pretty good. Mm-hmm. But the first 2 days that they were there, by 10 a.m., the park, people going to that ride, the park hit capacity, could not sell any more tickets to the whole rest of the park because they were at capacity for people going to that ride. So now we have Galaxy's Edge, an entire immersive land to walk through.
I want to know what Lupo saw.
What? Okay, yeah. So take us on a virtual tour, man. What do you walk us through the gates here?
So as soon as you walk into the land, you literally don't feel like you're at Disneyland anymore.
Wow.
You feel like you're on some backwater world, and it's the detail and the Imagineering is second to none. I was so blown away. Even the trash cans look like droids. Dispenser droids. Everything looks like it's in place for a reason. Now, keep in mind, this was, we just had opening. The main attraction ride isn't even open yet, and they don't even have a date when it's supposed to open.
Wow. So the main
even
ride
on opening
in the attraction's
weekend,
not
the big
open.
ride, which is was it Flight of the Resistance or something like that?
Rise of the Resistance, yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing to do now, when you were walking in, I went straight over to Savi's workshop. That's where you build your own lightsaber. Now,
because
well, and I couldn't build a lightsaber because there's good reasons why you can't build a lightsaber. So I'll tell everybody right now, whether you go to Disneyland or if you're going to be going to Walt Disney World, if you're even remotely interested in building a lightsaber, that should be the very first thing you run to. Don't walk, don't look around. You run to Savi's workshop.
Wow.
They sell, so in a 4-hour period, they can only build 200 lightsabers, and they sell out immediately. And you have to stay in the courtyard, and they bring in a handful of people into a room to build the lightsabers. The lightsabers are made out of metal. They're not these cheap plastic lightsabers. As a matter of fact, they're combat capable, so you can actually have sword fights with them.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! We are down to 1 minute with this segment. We're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to talk more about scheduling your trip, what to do when you get inside the park, what you're going to see, and some of those attractions that are in there that are really, really popular. This hour, we're chatting about the new Star Wars area in the theme park, the Galaxy's Edge, which is an entire land in and of itself, guys. It's not just a display popped up in the middle of the park. This is an entire land of its own inside the theme park. So that is coming just 70 days, 11 hours, 26 minutes, and 19 seconds away. And we're going to be right back, though, after these messages with more behind the scenes with the Orlando Wizard, Robert Lupo. So stay tuned in and stay logged on because we'll be right back.
Now on Amazon.com, ICoin from author Jeremy Mosby. It's an alternate reality, and the leader of the planet ICoin is none other than Benjamin Franklin. When corrupt officials threaten not only ICoin but the Earth as well, an unlikely chosen one, Jeremy, must face dark foes to save the Earth and ICoin alike. Author Jeremy Mosby takes readers on a superhero's adventure through this compelling and imaginative alternate universe. Get ICoin on Amazon.com today.
Now on Amazon.com, War Calls, Love Cries, a Civil War novel by Mark Barie. Isaac Wells is an innocent farm boy living in upstate New York. His dreams are shattered by a treacherous brother and the onset of a devastating civil war. War Calls and Love Cries is a fast-moving historical narrative. It is an emotional roller coaster ride and a riveting must-read book that you will think about and talk about for a long time to come. War Calls and Love Cries is the kind of book you will cherish for a lifetime. On Amazon.com today.
Best-selling and award-winning author of true crime and crime fiction, Yvonne Mason is back with a brand new book, The Pink Canary, a book that delves into the life of a drag queen and a marvelous whodunit. You can find this and all of Yvonne's other works on Amazon.com or find Yvonne Mason on Facebook and Twitter.
He's gonna kill me.
Buy your copy of Pink Canary now.
From authors Julie Morgan and Grayson Miller, and out of the great city of New Orleans emerges a detective tale to devour. The king of New Orleans is a demon who offers immortality for loyalty. The sheriff is a shifter with a badge who's lost his powers, and Natalia Cortez is the private dick who arrives to investigate a demonic killing. The rest is waiting to be uncovered by you. This dick is looking for a demon fuck. Pre-order on Amazon.com today.
Welcome back, everybody, to this The Hangin' With Web Show Radio Hour. I'm GW Pomichter.
And I'm Sagea.
On the line, we have our very own Dr. Wizard.
Yes.
The Orlando Wizard, Robert Lupo. And we are talking Galaxy's Edge. That's right. Yes. So, before the break, we had just dove into, as you get into the park, what you need to see, what you should be looking for. And our last bit of advice from Dr. Lupo was to make sure that if you want to build a lightsaber, if you want to be in that gaggle, there's a limited number of lightsabers that can be built in your 4-hour block. It's limited to, 200, right, Robert?
200 for 4 hours. I figured out that in a full day, including magic hour, there's a maximum of 800 lightsabers that can be built per day.
Wow.
And,
okay. And these are not the ones that your kids build at a Star Wars attraction. These are collectibles. They're collector's items, and they are made to be played with. And adults play.
They're made out of metal. Metal.
We play harder than our kids.
Indeed.
So these are made. So if we're going to have a lightsaber battle, oh, it's on. And so get there early and get on that list if you want to build a lightsaber. If you want to get one of these lightsabers, you need to get there early.
I'm telling you, man, it's just like run to Savvy's workshop.
Savvy's workshop, that's where you're going to build your lightsaber.
If you're not sure where it is, if you ask a cast member, hey, where do I go to build a lightsaber? In Batuu, which is what Galaxy's Edge is, the planet of Batuu,
okay.
Lightsabers are contraband. So you can't just ask somebody, where do I go build a lightsaber? You need to go, where can I go buy scrap metal?
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next point. Which Lupo was telling us during the commercial break. This is, in every way, an immersive experience. When you enter Galaxy's Edge, you are on Batuu. And your cast members and your staff and everybody are there to facilitate your illusion that you're on Batuu. So they have a way of talking and walking, and everything is made to immerse you. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Like when you walk in, you're not going to ask a cast member, hey, where can I find the restrooms? They're going to go, I have no idea what you're talking about. So you want to find a restroom? You say, where can I find the refresher?
Okay.
If you want to find a water fountain, where might I find a hydrator? And they'll tell you where the water fountain is. When you walk into the land, they'll greet you by saying bright suns instead of good morning. In the evening, at nighttime, it'd be rising moons would be good evening. And there's all kinds of these language things, which is going to be in one of my next videos. I'm going to go through all the different languages and food and everything in there. You can actually buy green and blue milk in the land. Now, interesting thing, so it's not going to be so important here at Disney World, but at Disneyland, Batuu was the first place that you could publicly purchase alcohol. So before that, the only way you could get it was in Club 33. And you had to be a member or go in with a member. So this is the first public location in Disneyland that you can purchase alcohol.
Wow! So it really is a it really is a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yes.
And villainy.
Yes.
And villainy.
Yes.
So the biggest things to do in the land right now is build your lightsaber, and I'm going to do them in order of what fills up fast. Build your lightsaber, the cantina where you can buy alcohol. Remember the original pilot for Star Tours?
Yes.
He's now a DJ there. And then from there, it's the Millennium Falcon ride, which is called Smuggler's Run. That fills up fast. That's actually best to do near the end of your 4-hour period because everybody rushes to it, and near the end, it's less than a 30-minute wait.
Oh, awesome.
And then the fourth big thing to do is build your own droid. Now, let me tell you
build your
about
own droid.
Yes, you can build a BB-8 unit or an R2 unit. Matter of fact, the most expensive thing at Disneyland right now is they have a full-size, fully functional R2-D2 unit that's fully remote control and everything. Exactly movie accurate, 100%, and it's $25,000.
Wow. That's a little more than a weekend vacation.
Yeah, and you can get it any color you want, and they'll ship it to you.
And it says the Droid Depot also design, assemble, and activate a customized droid.
It is amazing because you pick all the parts up on this conveyor belt, you assemble it. Here's what's amazing about this land. I'm going to go through a couple of things why it's more immersive than the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Let's start with droids, and we'll go over to lightsabers and kyber crystals, and then we'll talk about the Disneyland app. So when you build a droid, not only is it fully remote controlled, but as you build it and put it together and you activate it, it kind of comes to life and reacts to everything around you. It's Bluetooth enabled, so you can control it with your phone. But here's what's amazing. As you're walking around the land, the droid interacts with the land itself. So if there's a droid being powered on, it'll start talking to that droid as you walk by it. If you go into the First Order area, it starts acting scared and nervous. If you go into the Resistance area, it gets excited. This is full immersion. And on top of that, you could get personality chips for the droids. So you can have a smuggler, you could do First Order chips, you could do Resistance chips.
Wow.
There's like 2 sets of 6 different. There's like 6 different chips or so, and it's amazing. Then if we look at the kyber crystals, not only do they work in the lightsabers, and I'll go into that, they have the Kron cubes. They have the Sith and the Jedi cubes. Now the cube itself kind of feels cheap. They're about $49.95, $49.99 for the cubes. But they interact with all the crystals, so they'll do the light of that crystal, and then you'll get secret messages from different Jedi masters. Like if you put a red crystal in the Jedi cube, Master Yoda comes alive and starts talking to you. Wow. And on the Sith ones, really only do 3 different reactions, but there's a rumor if you put the black crystal in, there's a special message for the black crystal.
Oh wow! See, and this is the thing about this experience. Is like I said, you're not just having your typical theme park experience. You are immersed in a world. The language, the clothing, the everything about this world is tailored to immerse you in the Star Wars galaxy, and
without question.
And when that is. It really is. This is the closest thing. If you're out there in the world, guys, in the science fiction world, and you're on Krypton Radio, and you were wondering when you were going to see a holodeck, right now, this is the closest thing you're going to get, because this is...
It's astounding.
It's just a world that everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, you are in a galaxy far, far away.
It is the ultimate time for cosplay.
Oh, wait, there are rules.
Wear anything.
There are rules. I just read this. Thank you for saying that, actually. There are cosplay rules. Now, in Disneyland, they are more strict than they are here, than they're planning to be at Hollywood Studios.
That's true, and I have some information on that, too, by the way.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yes. Share the spill the beans.
At Disneyland, there is no cosplay for anybody, what is it, 16 or up? 15 or up?
It's 12 and up.
12 and up. Anybody 12 and under can cosplay, and that's great. Cosplay Michael's got no problem. He can be his little Jedi self. But anybody 12 and up, there's no cosplay at Disneyland in Star Wars. And primarily because they do not want to confuse the experience, because the staff members are already cosplaying. 100%.
So you could buy Jedi robes,
Mm-hmm.
you just can't wear them.
Yeah.
So you could put a Jedi robe over your clothing, and as long as your other clothing is showing, that's okay, but you couldn't go full immerse.
Yeah,
they
you
won't
go full Jedi.
Okay.
And now I know that they did a press release right after those rules came out in Disneyland, and that was for Hollywood Studios. Those rules, like not wearing your Jedi robes, etc., those rules apply inside Galaxy's Edge. But just like all of the other attractions, when you come out into Hollywood Studios, when you come out into the main park, if you've got a Jedi robe, kick it, baby, because they've been letting people do that for years. around their shops. So
at Hollywood Studios, we've had that rumor about the Star Wars resort that's going to go up and be connected to Galaxy's Edge. So when you go, the rumor is when that resort opens up, they're going to give you a costume because you're actually going to be cosplaying in the resort itself. They'll give you missions to accomplish. So you can literally walk into Galaxy's Edge in the costume the resort gave you and actually do missions in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, well, they did say that Disneyland has been a lot more strict about its cosplay policy because a lot of fans are disappointed that they wanted to buy new robes, they wanted to do all these things, they wanted to cosplay in the park. But at least for now, the general consensus at Disney is that it would cause confusion, at least for now. While the park is as busy as it is, while the lines are as long, it would be too confusing because the staff members are cosplaying. Now, as Lupo alluded to, with the hotel and the things coming at the Disney World, the rules will be a little less strict. At the same time, they'll also be different because it's going to be a different experience. Once you add that hotel, that resort, into the mix, it's going to be a full-on 24 hours a day immersion experience, which will be incredible. In the meantime, we have to go to another break. They keep breaking up the conversation just when we get going. When we come back, we're going to talk some more and wrap it up with our dear friend, Dr. Robert Lupo, the Orlando Wizard. We're going to rename it the Dr. Wizard. Dr. Wizard, I think, is a good.
Dr. Wizard.
Dr. Wizard.
Yes. I could go with that.
Yes. Dr. Wizard will be back with us when we come back on the other side of the commercial break. So stay tuned in and stay logged on. We'll be right back.
The Rite of Wands. One boy, one rite. And a world of deadly secrets that could change the course of history forever. It's time for The Rite of Wands by Mackenzie Flohr. When a horrible fate reveals itself during the Rite of Wands ceremony, Mirda must find a way to change his destiny. Forbidden from revealing the future, he is granted a wand and magical powers in order to save himself and those he loves. But Mirda is not the only one with secrets. The Rite of Wands by Mackenzie Flohr, available on Amazon.com now.
Every year, tens of millions of people flock to Florida for its sunny beaches and world-famous tourist attractions. Most never learn about the strange and unusual locations just off the beaten path. From the UFOs of Gulf Breeze to Robert the Haunted Doll in Key West. Learn about the myths, monsters, and legends from the dark side of the Sunshine State with author Mark Muncy and illustrator Carrie Schultz in their books Eerie, Florida and Freaky Florida from the History Press. Find them at EerieFlorida.com or wherever books are sold.
This is Cosplay Michael with the Hangin' On The Web show. I want to tell you about my friends at Embellis Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props for all of your costume needs. And the team at Embellis Effects is helpful and friendly. Embellis Effects is one of my favorite places, and I know it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to EmbellisEffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
Discarded by Michael J. Allen. In a world where magic is sold like designer coffee, unknown forces have corrupted it, and it's killing people. Now, an unlikely hero emerges. A homeless ex-con creating spells out of a trash can is the only one who can save the city. Michael J. Allen's Discarded. Available on Amazon.com.
Murder by the Gods from author William G. Collins is available today. Murder by the Gods is a mystery thriller set in the glorious past of ancient Egypt. When the son of the Scorpion King suddenly collapses after receiving a mysterious threat from the god Seth, the prince is convinced it is the gods who are trying to kill his family. Murder by the Gods is filled with adventure and romance in a kingdom that would become known as the Land of the Pharaohs. Murder by the Gods from author William G. Collins is available on Amazon.com today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hangin' With Web Show Radio Hour. I'm GW Pomichter.
And I'm Sagia.
And on the line with us is Dr. Wizard. That's right. Robert Lupo, the Orlando Wizard, is with us. And we have been talking about Galaxy's Edge, opening here in moments. I can tell you how many moments. Right now, 70 days, 11 hours, 9 minutes, and 12 seconds. The Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here in Orlando, Florida will be opening up at the Disney World's Hollywood Studios.
Indeed.
And but we have been diving from behind the scenes because our very own Orlando Wizard was out in California and did a little investigative journalism.
Do you know what else he did?
What's that?
He built a lightsaber.
I see what I'm saying? He was doing all the cool stuff. And so we talked a little bit about going in the park, the things to look for, checking out the attractions. You've got the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride.
Where you get to fly the
That's
Millennium
right.
Falcon.
The main ride, which will be...
That flight, the Smuggler's Run, it's a cross between Star Tours and the space flight over at Epcot. Because you have 3 different jobs, a pilot, an engineer, and a gunner, and there's 2 of each. It's kind of a cross between the 2.
That's pretty cool, yeah. And then, of course, opening later this year, we have the Rise of the Resistance coming. And Lupo told us all about the Sabi's Workshop. If you want to build a lightsaber, you want to get there early, you want to get on that list early because there are a limited number of lightsabers that can be built during your block, which is about 4 hours long. They can only build about 200 lightsabers. So you got to get on that list early if you want to be a part of that. Also, check out the Droid Depot where you can design and build and watch your very own droid come to life. Very cool stuff. And Lupo was telling us it interacts with the park and with the other droids and with the world that you're immersed in. So that's really, really cool. We talked a little bit in the last segment about Olga's Cantina, which is where you can not only get your favorite Star Wars drinks and beverages, but you can get alcohol.
Oh, yeah, first time ever in Disneyland.
That's right. So welcome to...
The milk's actually at the milk stand, which is outside of the cantina.
Yes, so welcome to a true hive of scum and villainy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were moving on here. This is the last segment of the show. We don't want to miss too much, and we want to remind everybody to check out the Orlando Wizard on YouTube because Lupo's going to be dropping videos with all of these tips and tricks in detail, far more detail than anybody else has been giving you because he got the tour from the insiders, man. He got the press tour while he was out in California. He got the 20-minute tour, seeing everything that there is to see, the good, bads, and the ugly. He's going to share that stuff with you. But we have to ask you, dude, even 20 minutes, food? What is it like to eat?
Food is interesting. So I think the biggest complaint we have right now with the food in Batu is the kids menu. If you have picky eaters for kids, they're not going to be happy in there. Like if you go over to Docking Bay 7, which is the main place, the kids menu has 3 items on it. You're not going to find chicken fingers. You're not going to find pizzas. You're not going to find burgers or hot dogs. So if your kids are really picky, feed them before you walk into the land.
Good tip. It's a good tip because, a lot of kids have a limited palate. They really do.
Some people is just all they want is chicken fingers.
Yeah, well, no, kids have a knack for comfort foods. Whatever that their favorite comfort food is, they especially when they're in a strange place or a new place, they gravitate toward that. Like Lupo said, some kids all they'll eat when they're out is chicken fingers or hamburgers or very specific items, things that make them comfortable. Those comfort foods, and so if you have a child that's like that. Plan for that. Make sure that you go and if you're in Orlando and you come to Hollywood Studios and you're on your way into Galaxy's Edge, then eat. There are a lot of places at Hollywood Studios to eat, and there are a lot of places for kids to eat in particular for kids meals. So go get one of those. Have that before you go in, so that the next 4 hours of your life you'll be better off for it, and your kids will have a better time. Because a hungry kid who's trying to enjoy Star Wars is a bad idea.
Yeah. So I can't actually go into the docking bay and get my silver foil pouch and pour it in there and add my water and there's my bread. Bloop!
Not yet.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
Going to expand. I mean, there's a couple different food places, and they're decorated really nice. But I found the food to be expensive, really expensive.
Those prices are astronomical.
Oh, you have
no idea.
I did
there? Yeah. Oh.
So the most expensive and probably the best thing there is the Barie shack roast, which is kind of like a beef pot roast, pasta, wilted kale, mushrooms, and the gravy is really, really good. But it's $18.99, and everything there is a little bit cheaper, like $16.99 for the smoked kadu ribs, fried Enduring tip yip is chicken, by the way, which is $15.49. Roasted Interior tip yip salad, which is a chicken salad, which is $13.99, and so forth. Then they have a couple of little desserts, but the kicker here is water is $4 a bottle.
Wow.
A bottle of water is $4.
Well,
I will go ask for the hydrator.
In fairness,
out in the park.
from the picture, photos only, of course. We haven't been there ourselves. We have to take Lupo's word for it. In fairness, as I recall from the photos, Bantu is a desert planet, ish.
Yeah, but I mean, like sodas, like a regular soda is $3.99. That's also $4, and then a large is $4.19.
Yeah, see,
and no refills.
So it's a desert planet prepared to pay for your water and other liquid products. So, well, that's fair enough, though. That's fair enough. Now, you know what? We got about 4 minutes left here before we have to call it a night. But we did want to know, Lupo, you got Kyber crystals there. You got you got the 6 main crystals, the complete set. Did you get a lightsaber?
I did not get a lightsaber.
You did not get a lightsaber, but you have your Jedi cube.
I got the Kron cube. You know, the Jedi.
The holocron cube.
Holocron cube.
Holocron
yes.
cube.
It makes noise.
If you go in, you have to buy the if you're going to build a lightsaber, buy a lightsaber, get the holocron cube. Each kyber crystal color not only lights up the blade that color in a lightsaber, but the sounds are different. So blue sounds different from red, and red sounds different from purple. Even the light-up sequence of the blade is just slightly different, and when you wave it around, they sound slightly different. And then each crystal in the holocron, especially the Jedi one, has secret messages from famous Jedis. So each colored crystal does something. People are like, I don't want a white one, and I don't want a yellow one. I'm like, buy them.
Yes.
The crystals are $12.99 each. And you find the hidden black one in the red crystal cases. So 1 in 300 of the red crystal cases will have a black, which does the exact same thing as a red crystal in the lightsabers and the Jedi holocron, but it gives you a different secret message in the Sith holocron.
That's amazing. And Lupo's going to have on the Orlando Wizard YouTube channel, Lupo's going to have tips and tricks for you about getting around the new Galaxy's Edge land, but also on things like finding the red kyber crystals and finding how to get yourself a black one.
Yeah. So, I mean, what they tell you on all the other things works. I have an easier process on finding a black
There you
crystal.
go. So make sure you check out the Orlando Wizard YouTube channel for all those tips and tricks. He's been releasing videos already that are Galaxy's Edge, so you can see what he's seen and the people that he's talked to about it. But there'll be more coming, right? There's a lot more coming.
Oh yeah, I have 2 that I'm working on right now, which is all the tips and tricks, and then a specific special on how to find the best way to find a black crystal.
That is awesome. We are down to about a minute, folks. We want to take this opportunity to thank our partners and friends, our great friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, our terrific friends over at Space Coast Comics, and the Indie Originals crew. We just got done going to IndieCon 2019, and we're already excited for IndieCon 2020. So amazing group of folks there. We want to thank our friends at the Foxwood Wine Company for our amazing set pieces and all of their love and support. Our great friend Josh Bauer at J. Bauer Art for all the set pieces that we use from J. Bauer Art.
Exactly.
We want to thank Hearts Helping Others of Orlando. Hearts Helping Others of Orlando is a fantastic charity organization that does everything from toy drives for kids to community visits to there's just a wide range of services that they are providing in the greater Orlando area. So Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida, out of Orlando, Florida, we appreciate their support, and we support them 100%. We want to thank author Yvonne Mason with Off the Chain Radio for her continued support of the Hangin' with Web Show. And we want to thank you for listening to the Hangin' with Web Show Radio Hour, to watching the Hangin' with Web Show's daily show every weekday at 2 p.m., and for watching or listening to the Hangin' with Web Show's Indie Music Spotlight every Thursday at 6 p.m. We want to thank our very special guest and great friend, the Orlando Wizard, Dr. Robert Lupo, for joining us these Wednesday evenings for recordings and being on a Thursday night show on Krypton Radio. Yes. Thank you so much, Robert,
thank you for
coming
showing
on.
off your holocron cube.
Holocron cube, that's right. We're going to try something special next week. We're going to try to get back onto video here. We're going to try to get back onto Facebook Live and back onto those things so you guys can watch us in our recording sessions. Until then, guys, we want to remind you, stay tuned in, stay logged on, and see who we're hanging with next.
There I am, the one that tracks you through that maze that you find me at alone. Raising for that throne, just steal the stone. There I am, I'm catching up to, living on your heels to bring you down. Gonna force you from that cloud, yes, I'm gonna push you now. I'ma shine a light that's gleaming, I'ma raising Cain inside your heart. Gonna steal aside your soul, no, I won't let you go. Be right there to shake you, break you, be right there to shake you to your bones. Gonna let you fly alone, yes, I'm gonna watch you die. And burn through your heart and break down what you believe in. And burn, baby, burn right through your soul. And turn all of your dreams to ashes. You can call me the Prince of Dr. B. You can call me the Prince of Dr. B. You can call me the Prince of Dr. You can call me the Prince of Dr. B. There I am, the one that tracks you through that maze that you find me at alone. Raising for that throne, just take my hand. There I am, I'm catching up to, giving on your heels to bring you down. Gonna force you to that cloud, yes, I'm gonna help you now. I'ma shine a light that's gleaming, I'ma saving grace inside your heart. Gonna steal aside your soul, no, I won't let you go. Be right there to save your chest, yeah. Be right there to warm you to your bones. Gonna let you fly alone, yes, I'm gonna watch you fly. And burn through your heart and build up what you believe in. And burn, baby, burn right through your soul. And turn all of your fears to ashes. You can call me the Prince of Light to be. You can call me the Prince of Light to be. You can call me the Prince of Light too. You can call me the Prince of Light to be. Witching walls with light and darkness, crushing souls and burning martyrs, breaking shields the forces that all men to fight alone. Darkness starts to move straight forward, light is digging boots and further, bracing back the strength to muster up his final stand. Suddenly the dark moves faster, all his light is pushing over. Light seems too weak to counter, can't make it on his own. Then my friend, I jumped in with him, grabbed my sword and hit the middle, and together in the rain and water we battled on our own. Burn, baby, burn right through your heart, baby. Build up what you and build up what you believe in. And burn, baby, burn right through your heart, baby. Build up what you and turn all of your fears to ashes. You can call me the Prince of Light to be.